Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here. Okay, so you did not see Biden wandering around aimlessly, freezing up himself, sniffing dignitaries, falling asleep, drinking cocktails, and frisking serving girls? What you actually saw were cheap fakes. It's like a deep fake, but it's just the real video that we don't want people to see. Oh, and I am a black lesbian.
That last part is important because it hinges on why she's there in the first place. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Lukadowski here of We Are Change.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and crazy news out there, as of course domestically the situation is not all right, as there are two major high-profile crimes happening against women based on our immigration policies that are going to be becoming more lax now. What's going on here? As Joe Biden has a new plot, a new plan to galvanize more voters, as his poll numbers are looking up right before the major presidential debate, as it looks like there's a bigger threat also emerging, potentially with Russia and North Korea. What's going on there with China, even pointing the finger at the United States, telling them specifically that, hey, you guys are trying to get us to attack Taiwan. What? Yes, that is the statement that they made. What's really going on here? Well, we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. Before we do, if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on only lookundfiltered.com. It's a members-only shirt that's available actually at cost as one of your perks for being a member. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this video was done by the extremely talented Franzer Memes. He's an incredible video doctor, as he likes to call himself, and this latest one is absolutely just fine work of art that deserves to be subscribed to and supported. So if you haven't subscribed to Franzer Memes, what are you waiting for? Do it right now, as of course his meme magic not only lightens up the day, but helps us laugh about all the very serious issues that all of us have to deal with, as of course we're dealing with a lot of crazy sociopathic, power-hungry individuals that are willing to do some really awful things in order to attain more of this endless power that they seek. This as today we're finding out that a major Democratic commissioner nominee and former ex-Biden appointee was just arrested for making racist comments about himself and staging false flag manipulated fake attacks against him in order to frame his Republican opponent, as he was just arrested for online impersonation last week, as there's a new investigation that has been opened up here, as a lot of people are responding with comments like, quote, when the demand for racism outpaces the supply. Lots of other people highlighting Juicy Smollett, a fan favorite at the Democratic Party that no longer is kind of welcome there for some reason. I wonder why his invitation was taken away from all the fundraisers and support that he gave the Democratic Party, as of course lots and lots of people aren't safe under Democratic leadership, including U.S. Secret Service agents that were literally just robbed during the Presidents of the United States trip to California. Yes, you heard that correctly. Secret Service agents are now being robbed and becoming victims of what a lot of people are saying the lax Democratic crime policies that have inhibited many big city areas all throughout the United States and made them places where a lot of lawlessness takes place. And it looks like there's going to be a lot more of that happening, as Old Yeller, Joe Biden, this man himself, who is literally looking like a skinned, hairless gerbil, in this particular photo, according to my own personal opinion, is set to announce new immigration policies that will protect thousands of people from deportation, as a lot of Republicans are expecting that he's going to be implementing mass amnesty in the United States, allowing a lot of the people who illegally came into the United States a pathway for citizenship. And with more people coming into the United States, the price of housing will go up, the price of labor will go down, Add that to the spree of criminality that has been spurred on by Democratic leadership, and you have a system that's very difficult to survive, as Pizza Hut just announced that they are abruptly shutting down 15 restaurants, with 129 of their other restaurants at risk of being closed down, as business is not good all around under Bidenomics and his Build Back Better policies that, of course, prioritize larger globalist policies, as there's a lot of victims out there of his policies, including a lot of innocent human beings like this mother in Maryland of 5 children that no longer is here after an El Salvadorian alleged gang member took her life after doing unspeakable things to her. As today, we're finding out that he crossed the border illegally at least 3 times in 2 months and eluding agents on his 4th try and attempt, highlighting how he was essentially let into the United States and then was able to commit heinous crimes, which luckily he was captured and arrested for, as we keep hearing more and more of these particular stories, including the latest one from New York, where in broad daylight, an illegal immigrant attacked and did horrible things to a 13-year-old girl. This, as a lot of people are choosing to take photos of this awful, horrible young man and implement the moniker that he's, quote, riding with Biden. This, as almost everything that the government touches, turns to absolute crap, as today we're also finding out how the U.S. federal government spent $7.5 billion in government money, and as of right now, only built 8 electric vehicle chargers in 2.5 years. Highlighting once again how the private sector is a lot better than the public one, as the government really loves taking your money, spending it, and absolutely wasting it while creating just absolutely awful situations for the general public out there. As in Poland, the government there is, quote, thinking outside the box, according to Jack Posobiec, who detailed how Polish farmers are now dumping pig manure along the border between Poland and Belarus to specifically deter specific migrants from entering their country. This, as immigration has been weaponized by Russia and Belarus against Poland, and they have been creating a huge influx of a lot of individuals that are literally transported onto the Polish border, creating a larger humanitarian crisis that they want Poland to deal with. And overwhelmingly, the Polish people are like, that's not my problem. You could kiss my dupa, because we're not going to have any of that over here. As, of course, the European Union looks to, of course, change that, as recently there was a political shift that might actually do that, showing us and highlighting that nothing is sacred. And that's one reason, out of many reasons, I created LukeUnfiltered.com, and we're going to have some really special walk and talk videos from Boston, Massachusetts, just available for members today. Really special videos talking about the conquest of that major urban city environment that is just full of rot and decay, with lots of CIA agents and sports balls, highlighting one of the most perfectly destroyed Western-backed cities that is just absolutely awful. I don't like Boston. I really don't. And I got into it with many layers of complexity just for members with the latest videos that we're going to be releasing later on. They were really fun to make. They're a different style of videos where I'm literally walking, interacting with different people and different things that I see. So that video available for members, as well as a nature hike that's going to be happening here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, which we are in right now. We are at PorkFest. It's still not late for you guys to come. There's going to be major events happening here all throughout the week. Promo code Luke10 for tickets. Come out here. We're going to be doing live podcast episodes. We should have one up later on today, 6 p.m. Eastern on this channel. You as members get to call in and ask us questions live in the moment. And we have a nature hike that we're going to be doing here this Friday at noon at what I think is one of the most beautiful, one of the most amazing, one of the most spectacular places on the face of the earth. And I don't say that lightly. Again, it's a secret location. The location will be revealed to members 24 hours before our nature hike, and I hope to see you there. Bring your friends, bring your family members. It's going to be a very special occasion, and it's going to be something incredible that we are all going to take part in, as we're trying to promote people to touch grass, get out there, enjoy nature, and the beautiful, just amazing power that is revealed to you when it comes to grounding and being surrounded by it, as truly it is an absolutely incredible thing to be a part of. We did these events in Austin, in Washington, D.C., in Miami. We're doing one here, and with your help, with your support, even if you're not in New Hampshire, your memberships on lukeunfiltered.com, when you sign up, spur us to be able to do these everywhere, and that's the larger goal of what we are trying to accomplish here. You're a part of that just by becoming a member of lukeunfiltered.com. As of course, we are still not done here, as there's a lot of really crazy stuff developing right now, specifically when it comes to our current political system and the larger threats that are created that seem to be growing and expanding here, as of course civil discourse seems to be breaking down and legal lawfare seems to be enacted, as today a New York appeals court just declined to hear Donald Trump's challenge to the gag order case that he's involved in, as soon the President of the United States will be sentenced right before the Republican National Convention. This as, surprisingly, Joe Biden, quote, got a major boost in a new national poll right before the major CNN debate that's going to be happening next week, as old Yeller here, who in this photo is looking like the Crypt Keeper, literally, according to my own personal opinion, just recently got a bunch of high-profile celebrity endorsements from Jack Black and Jimmy Kimmel, who came out and officially told everyone to vote for this crazy old senile man who clearly isn't all there. This, as the race for the presidency just got a lot closer, and that's what I predicted. This debate, whether the Republicans like to hear it or not, is a lot closer than a lot of people expect it to be. As the political bifurcation in this country is real, and it has been weaponized in many different ways. This, as the next president of the United States, whoever it will face a lot of very serious international geopolitical pressures, as today, according to the Financial Times, the Chinese president Xi Jinping told the EU president at the time in April of 2023 that the United States is, quote, trying to bait China into attacking Taiwan, specifically describing a situation that the Chinese described as a, quote, American playbook that they used in Ukraine, the casus belli one, that puts U.S. military forces all around their enemy's border, and then they cry victim when they, quote, get attacked. And according to the Chinese, this is how the United States could justify the war that they always wanted, as this announcement from the Chinese is a very interesting one and highlights some very clear, severe pressures that are expanding and growing between these two major global world powers, as China, the emerging one, is becoming more directly at odds with the United States, as China now, according to the Daily Mail, has 500 nuclear warheads within its nuclear arsenal, and it's growing and expanding very fast, as the Pentagon is warning that China could have as many as 1,000 nuclear warheads by 2030. This, as China seems to be coordinating and working and communicating more and more with countries like Russia and North Korea that look like they are coming together more and more geopolitically, as they are, of course, opposed against American hegemony in the world. This, as the president of Russia soon will be visiting North Korea, signaling a larger relationship between Russia and North Korea, which highlights some very serious concerns for the West and the United States. This, as CNN is calling this, an anti-West alignment that is deepening, as a lot of people are saying that this trip is very rare, as the North Koreans are getting prepared and setting up a lot of flags of Russia in its capital, a lot of portraits of Vladimir Putin, as the streets are now decorated, welcoming the Russian leader, as it definitely looks like there's a stronger alliance being established there, especially when it comes to personnel, resources, and war equipment that probably will be used along with other strategic means and ways, as CNBC News is highlighting this greater alliance as a, quote, a threat like no other, as they put it, that the West is watching with concern, and they should, as of course North Korea, according to a lot of analysts, has nuclear weapons capabilities, and with North Korea becoming stronger and stronger tied in to Russia and China. And as those two countries become more opposed against the United States, they could be a major, severe player in all of this that could provoke a major action or a reaction that could spread American troops and interests even further apart away from each other. Now, this is definitely a bad sign for the West, as of course other countries like Iran, India, Turkey, Brazil, and other BRICS nations are also aligning together specifically against the U.S. petrodollar, as Saudi Arabia just a couple days ago announced that they are going off the U.S. petrodollar system. Something that should be concerning to a lot of people, but oddly is getting very little attention, very little play in the national kind of media discourse, which just shows you where people's priorities are at. As I think it's definitely fair to say that geopolitically, internationally, things are pretty crazy, and they're only going to get crazier from here. If you agree with that, share this video with your friends and family members, as of course I do agree with that sentiment. This is a threat like no other. But hey, at least we get to do a nature hike, so I hope to see you there this Friday at noon. It really is a spectacular thing to be able to meet your fellow men and women, to be able to get to know each other, to be able to network, to be able to do something that's beneficial for your physical and spiritual bodies, and take advantage of it. And even if you're not in New Hampshire, even if you can't make the trip, just sign up, and then we probably will be doing some kind of nature hike sometime soon, hopefully in your area and town. And again, we do that mainly because of your support. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that, and this is why. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange. We should be live 6 p.m. Eastern today too. So very fun show at ParkFest. Stay tuned for that and a lot more.